thanks for stopping by and checking out another video. Today we are diving in, checking out some Sanlida Archery Dragon arrows. So we got the Dragon 8s, we got the 9s, and the Dragon 10s. So we're gonna be going through, showing you kind of what these arrows are made of and see if they're a good option for you. They do come in a 24 pack and it's not a lot of money. For around under 80 bucks for the most premium ones, you get 24 arrows. That's like less than $3 an arrow. You guys, let's dive in. We're gonna do a comparison between the 3 different models and show you which ones I prefer. And then overall at the end, we're gonna give you some final thoughts and impressions on which one might be the best option for you, or which might be the best option for different types of archers. So like and subscribe, guys. Let's get into this. So just up front, if you have Dragon X compound bow, it's gonna come with these arrows right here. If you have a Dragon 9 compound bow, it's gonna come with these right here with the green fletchings. And then the Dragon 10 comes with these premium, they're top of the line arrows right here that they just came out with that have the 2-inch vanes. So these are a full 100% carbon arrow, and just looking at these, and I have shot these for over the past 3 weeks, and the graphite holds up pretty good. I haven't even busted one of these arrows, and they're holding up pretty daggone good. So 100% carbon on these. They are a 24-ton graphite blank, so that's pretty standard across the market. So the straightness on these do vary between the different models. So if you get the premium ones, the Dragon 10s that they just came out with, they have a 1/1000th straightness. So it's a 0.001 straightness, and that's about as straight as you can get, guys. That is pretty good. The Dragon 9s, they have a 0.003 straightness, so 3/1000ths of the straightness, which is pretty good. Honestly, I haven't had any issues out of these either. And then the lowest model here, the Dragon 8s, they have the 0.006 straightness. So these are going to be the least straight out of the models, but honestly, I can't tell a difference. You'd have to be pretty daggone good to see the difference in that and have it like on an arrow tuning machine to even notice that. And even then, you probably still wouldn't even notice the straightness difference. So before we start doing some close-ups on these, I want to show you, these do come in a 24 pack, which is pretty remarkable. Honestly, if you get most arrows come in like 6 or 12. This right here, you're getting 24 arrows in this pack, and you're getting a bunch of different components to put them together. So you're getting the nocks, you're getting the inserts, and they're already pre-fletched. So there you go. And then you also get the fill points. So all that adds up to a lot of money usually, but for around 69 to 79 bucks, you can get 24 arrows, which comes out to what? $2.50, under $3 per arrow. So there you go. It's a pretty good deal in my opinion. Honestly, if you went out to Walmart and were looking to pick up some arrows, this would probably fall in line with some of their arrows. And I don't know if you've looked at their prices recently, but a lot of those are $4, $5, $6, $8 a piece. So you're gonna have to buy them all singles, and that's gonna add up to a lot of money. And this right here is giving you the same quality as those arrows there. So let's dive in and show you what you get in the pack. It does come in a box like this. Package pretty nice. We'll pull these out right here. Good grip on them. All right, so the Dragon 8s are going to be a little bit different. So these are already, they have the inserts already glued in the end. This is how they come packaged. Pretty nice. I've already pulled 4 of them out, and we've already cut them down to my draw length. So we've already pre-cut those. We've already been test shooting these to give you the best opinions out there. But they come packaged really well. I haven't had any issues with the fletchings being messed up or anything like that. But you do get a bag of field points. So we move the camera a little bit closer to give you guys some close-ups on these. So we're looking at the Dragon 8s. So you could tell they do come with a pin knock style knock. So this is more what you see on target archers arrow setups, where you have a metal pin knock back here, and then you got a plastic knock piece. So these are really easy to replace, the nocks themselves. But for me, I don't personally like this nock setup the best. I like just a regular plastic nock that goes all the way down in here as an insert itself. But I can understand why Sanlida would do this. They say that this is an explosion-proof nail pin nock. That way, I guess, it minimizes the risk. You can see if an arrow were to hit this, it can deflect. It mitigates the risk of this exploding or exploding in your bow when it comes out. So they did that for a couple different reasons, but I'll probably just plan on melting the glue in this and then putting some just plastic inserts like I'd have on my normal hunting arrows. So these do have 4-inch TPE vanes. So pretty nice graphite there. You can see how the insert for the field point is already glued in. And they are in fact glued in because I had to heat up the glue to pull the inserts out. That way I could trim these down to size, and then I re-glued them and put the new insert in. But these are 32 inches long. So you can tell as we go up to the Dragon 9s and the 10s, they don't glue the insert in anymore because, you know, not everybody's gonna shoot a 32-inch arrow. If somebody's buying a pack of arrows, they're probably gonna buy them to end up cutting them down to length like this. I've cut this one down to 26 3/4 of an inch, and we reinserted the fill points and the insert. But that's probably what people are gonna do if they're looking to purchase a whole pack like this, or I think it would be pretty smart for Sanlida if they offered a drop-down box on their website or on Amazon that gave you the ability to select your arrow length of choice before you make the purchase if they're gonna have the inserts already glued in. I found that's what a lot of manufacturers do on Amazon, and I've purchased arrows like that before, and it makes it a lot easier for the consumer. That way they don't have to go out, cut arrows, or buy equipment to cut arrows. It's already ready to go right out of the box. We'll dive in talking about the Dragon 9s and the 10s and kind of how they differ a little bit. But overall, these 8s, that's a good looking arrow. Honestly, this beats probably the quality you get at Walmart, and for literally a fraction of the cost. And if you don't like the nock design, change it out. You got you a pretty good hunting arrow or a target arrow. This would be perfect if, let's say you bought your kid one of these Dragon 9s or 8s, and you're looking for some extra arrows because they're out there in the yard just busting them all the time. I know when I was a kid, I busted arrows all the time, and I would have loved to have had a pack of 24 like this just to go out there, you know, and just have some extra arrows on hand. So there you go, maybe a good birthday or Christmas idea, Sanlida Dragon arrows. So all of these arrows do have a 4-inch vane minus the Dragon 10s, which have a 2-inch vane. But for the spines, you can get, these are 290. I had Sanlida send me, I don't know if you can see that, but it says 290. So the spine is gonna be how stiff this arrow is under tension. So let's say you fire this out of your bow, all that force from the string is gonna make this arrow load up and have some, you know, force pushing from behind here. So if it didn't have a really stiff spine, let's say it has like a 460 spine, this thing is gonna be very flimsy, and it's gonna make the arrow flight a little weird. So I told Sanlida, because I do shoot upwards of 80-pound bows sometimes, so I wanted the ability to have a really stiff arrow, so I opted for the 290 spine. Spines do range from 260 all the way up to 460, so it does give you a wide range of stiffness options there if you're looking to match your bow. So you can look at their website. They do have a chart. That way you can select based on your arrow speed. But I would just go ahead and get the stiffest arrow you can. I don't think you can go wrong with getting too stiff of an arrow versus if you went with one that's not stiff enough, it's gonna cause you issues. So I would just go ahead, word of advice, get the stiffer arrow and you're gonna be good to go. You can grow into that arrow if you're a kid, and you're gonna have that arrow for a long time. Let's look at the Dragon 9s. Pull these out. So I do like the green on this. I wasn't a huge fan of the orange, but you can tell the inserts for the field points there are not inserted. So they did take some advice from, I'm guessing, some bloggers or something out there in the past and said, hey, you know, the Dragon 8s, they got the inserts already glued in. People are having to cut those off or unglue them. This right here already comes to where you can just take these, you can get them cut or cut them yourself to length, and you're gonna be just fine. Once again, these do have the same type of nocks. As you can tell, this does have the same pin knock, and they're all gonna have the same pin knock. The only difference is gonna be the fletchings. These do have the same 4-inch TPE fletchings. You can see Dragon 9. There you go. And then I've already re-glued and cut and put the inserts in, and we got the field points in. One good thing about the field points they give you, it does have a little rubber O-ring. I guarantee you probably can't see that. It does have a little rubber O-ring right there. That way when you tighten these down, it applies just a little force there, and it keeps that field point from backing out, because usually you fire a couple off and you're gonna hear this rattling around. But with that O-ring in there, kind of keeps it in place a little bit longer before you have to retighten it down. These are also in a 290 spine. Okay, so that is the Dragon 9s. Let's look at the Dragon 10s. These are supposed to be their most premium, and this is gonna be the most expensive, coming in around 79 bucks for the 24 pack. But you still have the same pin knock, but you're getting nice Blazer vanes. So if you don't know, Blazer makes some really good vanes. These are kind of been like an industry standard for a long time. They make really high quality vanes. So it's really cool to see that Sanlida kind of took some opinions from people and really incorporated that into these Dragon 10s. I like the color option here, black and red. That's gonna go with a lot of different bow themes out there. But yeah, this is in a 2-inch vane, which is gonna be the most universal, because with a lot of drop away rest, you can't shoot a 4-inch vane because it's gonna be too long of a vane. It's gonna be sitting right in where the dropper arm is. So that's why a 2-inch vane is a little bit more optimal, and that's kind of industry standard now. Everybody shoots a 2-inch vane. It's a little bit more universal. One weird thing I thought about these arrows is, if you're researching arrows, or if you've never seen them before, usually the fletchings are starting about right here. These are kind of pushed forward a little bit, and I don't think that's gonna hurt anything. I mean, I've been shooting these and it hasn't hurt anything, but I thought it was just a little weird. I've never seen it like that before. I've never saw them pushed forward like this. But overall, this is a really nice looking arrow, .001 straightness, 24-ton carbon. Good looking arrow right there. And these do come in 32 inches, just like the Dragon 9s, and they don't have the inserts pre-inserted, so you can go get these cut to your length, and it's gonna be good for you. The Dragon 9s and 10s, they do come with a pack of field points, and they do come with a pack of inserts. That way you can go ahead and glue them in after you get them cut down to your length. So that's enough blabbing about the arrows themselves. So let's take these out to the range. Let's fire these through the Dragon X9 bow that we have right here. We're gonna be putting some arrows down range and see how these things perform. We're gonna be putting these head to head, and we've got them all cut down to size. We got 4 of each model, and we're gonna be slinging these at different targets. So stay tuned. We're gonna be giving you some honest opinions on these arrows at the very end. We're gonna shoot these and give you some thoughts and opinions on whether or not you should buy these. So this is a sponsored review video. Sanlida did send these to me to review and compare, but they did tell me to show my honest opinions of these arrows, because, you know, we're not gonna be giving the consumer some false impressions of these products, and especially me on this channel. I'm not gonna endorse something that I wouldn't personally use. So I'm gonna definitely give you my honest opinions about these products. All right, guys, let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna be shooting all these arrows through our Sanlida Dragon X9. So if you haven't checked out the videos on this bow, this is a great entry-level beginner's bow, and you can really grow into it if you're any age of archer. So nice little platform to start out on for sure. Make sure you start with a bow that's sighted in, that way you can shoot these accurately. That's gonna be the key. But we're gonna start out with the Dragon 8s. and we're gonna see how they group, see how the arrow flies, that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna go to the 9s and then 10s. All right, so that one hit the mark. It's about a 1 inch away. We'll see. So far, these things are flying pretty good. It was a flyer right there. Shoot a 4th one. All right, so 2 flyers and then 2 that were pretty good. You can see I had 2 flyers. I don't know if that was me or what happened, but then you see the first 2. That's pretty good. That's about a 1 inch in between there. So let's shoot these again. This is at 20, and then we'll move up to the 9s and the 10s. All right, so we're at 20 again. I'm gonna shoot another group to see if we can get a better group than that. All right, that's dead center. Mm. 3 inches low and to the right. Yeah, that was definitely the arrow on that one. Let's try this. That's why I'm confirming these, because I know I didn't pull that one. All right, then just a touch high. All right, so grouping is a little bit better. You can see my first shot was almost dead center, and then a little low. Actually, I think it was this one, but 2 flyers once again. So I know I held good on this one. So these might not be the best here. Let's see how the 9s and the 10s stack up to these. So about to do the Dragon 9s. Let's see if they do any better, because those 8s, I don't know. I was holding good. I know that's why we shot a second round just to confirm, and it did the same as the first. I think there was 2 arrows that did good, and then there was 2 that kind of just didn't do good. And the fletchings, I checked on both, didn't look too bad, but we're gonna confirm on this one. All right, so pretty much dead center on the first shot with the 9s. Was pretty good with this one. All right, still in the black, still in the black. A little bit low and to the right. A little high. It's dead down the pipe right there. All right, so here we go. Grouping's getting a little bit better with these 9s. So we had about a 4-inch group right there, and then 1 flyer up here. But that one, right down the stovepipe. So there was 2-inch group right there. So let's reshoot this one as well and see if we can get it any tighter than this. All right, so we're gonna try a different camera angle here so you can see a little bit better. Then we'll go check the group down there. little high. Might have jerked that one just a little bit. That one fishtailed for some reason. And this bow is tuned up. We've paper tuned this thing. This thing is just driving tacks. So the bow we know is good. I mean, obviously things can shift. All right, that's down the pipe. And guys, that can tend to happen. You know, maybe some of the deviations in arrows is because of the spine. So the true spine, we might have to knock tune a little bit to get it flying exactly how we want it. That could be an issue. But for some budget arrows, these things aren't doing too bad. All right, in the black. So we did get the group quite a bit tighter. Let's go look. All right, so you can tell pretty much all of them except for this one are touching the dot. So about a 3.5 inch group right here with 3, and then we had the flyer. Not too bad. I mean, we pulled the group in a little bit. I'm still trying to get used to this bow. I've been shooting it for about a month now, trying to do some testing, things like that. So I'm still getting used to that bow. So that could be one of the reasons these are doing this. This might not just be all the arrows' fault, I'll tell you that right now. All right, so that's the Dragon 9s out of the way. Let's pull out the 10s and see if their most premium arrow, this is the one that's around 80 bucks for a 24 pack. We'll see if these things can do any better. I got my suspicions here because I've been shooting these. So let's give them a try. Plus you can tell right here where this one has a 2-inch vein, the vein's not going up into the whisker biscuit right here. And I can't even shoot the 4-inch veins on my drop away rest because the veins impede with the dropper arm. So these right here are a little bit more modern. That's kind of what the industry standard is. So honestly, the Blazer veins are amazing. I've always shot those on just about any arrow I've ever shot, just because they're pretty inexpensive and they hold up. So let's get these shooting. All right, it's in the black. All right, it's touching the top of the black circle. All right, that was a good group there. Shoot the last one, see how it turns out. That was a little bit of a flyer. I think that was on me on that one. Let's go check. All right, so a little bit better group. Pull this one out of the bail a little bit. So I would say overall, even with the flyer low, flyer right here, that's about 4 inches, maybe 5 total, top to bottom. These two, pretty good. All right, let's try them again, see if we can get it tighter. Let's try them again. See if we can get that group tighter. Oof, that's still on there, but I definitely, I think the release bound up just a little bit on the string. I didn't punch it good enough. But it's still right there. That arrow dipped and dived and trying to play dodgeball a little bit. I don't know what went on with that one. Bottom of the circle. A little bit of a flyer there. All right, so the grouping did not get better. I mean, we had two that were pretty good up here, but I know for sure the first one was a flyer. This last one could have been something too. Like I said, I'm still trying to get used to this bow, but pretty much you can kind of tell some of these are kind of drifting away. So I don't know per se if it's the arrow itself, but some of these did do some wonky stuff. I don't know, I think the Dragon 9s probably, they gave the best results. I think theoretically, the Dragon 10 should have shot the best, but I don't know if it's a combination of my bow string maybe stretching a little bit because it's a pretty new bow, or if I'm pulling some shots. But I think most of those I was holding pretty daggone good. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through right now at 30, and we're gonna just try one of each, just kind of giving my impressions of how they fly. So let's try that. All right, so we're in the black on that one. Dragon 9. You know what? I used the wrong damn pin on that one. We're gonna have to go back. I freaking used my 20-yard pin for that, and it went way low. Arrow flight was good though. All right, pull just to the right a little bit. I guess let's go find a Dragon. See if I can use the right pin this time. All right, it's right there. So that was a good grouping for the most part. All right, so at 30, let a 5-inch group right there. So these two were pretty grouped. This was the one I shot with the 20-yard pin. As you can tell, it's pretty in line. It was just low, but not too bad for 30. Let's give it a try at 40 and see. Paint on these hold up pretty good too. Getting a lot of hay on it from those hay bales. All right, we're gonna see if we can get it out there to 40. The Dragon 8s. Pretty good right there. Maybe a touch low, but honestly, I haven't really dialed this thing in for anything past 20 yards because I've just mainly been focusing on the tuning and shooting this bow, trying to get it consistent. So that right there, I didn't even sight that pin in. These are just kind of how they came from the factory, the 30 and the 40s. So that one actually did pretty good. I think I pulled that one. Let's give it another try. I got that extra Dragon 9 arrow, so let's send that one down. Dang, that's dead on right there. That's money. Try the 10. I mean, honestly, these arrows, way better than what I had as a kid. I mean, getting 24 in a pack, if I was a kid, got those for Christmas, I'd have been stoked. A little bit low on that one. Not too shabby at 40. Look at that one. Right down the pipe. And this is the one we kind of winged it on, but not too bad. At 40 with a budget bow that hasn't even been really shot that much. And that's probably 7-8 inch spread right there at 40. Not too shabby. Honestly, that's the same groupings we had at 20 and 30. All right, guys, so after doing some testing, just some brief tests, doing some overviews on this, you know, which ones would I recommend you buy or at all? I mean, honestly, they shot pretty decent for right out of the box. So first of all, we have to have that expectation. These are not like top of the line arrows, so they're not going to be already tuned and ready to go. Obviously, you got to go ahead and cut them to your length, and some of them have some inconsistencies. I mean, you can see all that vein right there. Some of them came out of the box kind of like that. This was from where it went into the hay bale, but you can tell that's probably gonna reduce accuracy if you shoot these a lot. I'm not a huge fan of the pin nocks. They work and they're easy to replace. So on the 8s, the 8s they all performed the same, honestly. Maybe the 9s actually shot a little bit better, at least for me. So, you know, they all did pretty good. I would say overall, if you were looking for the best build quality, the best specs, you're definitely going to want to go with the 10. It has the blazer vanes. I know in this test, it really didn't matter. These didn't fly the best. They really didn't. But if you get these tuned, like I said, you can knock tune these things to get that spine where it lines up perfectly to where it's going to be shooting the straightest every time. I would say these will probably give you the best results if you go through and do all that tuning. Does everybody do that? Probably not. The average person is probably not going to go through and do that or even know how. So we'll just break it down between which categories I think these kind of fall into. So if you're just getting into archery, you're shooting, you know, just a budget-friendly bow, you're not looking to spend a lot of money on arrows, and none of these are really that expensive for a 24-pack. Honestly, the 8s or the 9s gonna be good enough. If you're a kid and it's just out there busting arrows like crazy because you're shooting at things way out there, shooting at rabbits, you're shooting at squirrel, anything like that, right? That's what kids do. You can break a lot of arrows. I wouldn't spend as much on the 10s. I would just go with the 8s and 9s. I think it's gonna be a great arrow if you're a kid looking to just have some extra arrows around. But if you're looking to start getting into archery, you're gonna start investing a little bit, get a good little platform for an arrow. The 10s will probably be the best option. Like I said, for hunting, I'd probably go ahead and replace these pin nocks and just get the regular plastic nocks. And yeah, I mean, overall, these arrows for $3, I think, a piece for the Dragon 10s. I mean, these things perform just as good as any Walmart arrow I've ever had. So, you know, for $3, I paid a lot more than $3 for those arrows. So that's a pretty good deal, honestly. So check out these Sanlida Dragon arrows. You know, there might be something for you. Check out the affiliate link in the description box if you want to pick some of these up on Sanlida's website. That affiliate link does help me out, helps me bring you more content. Purchases we get, the more likely they're to send me some more products to review and also products for me to showcase to you. That way you might want to purchase them as well. All right, guys, thanks for checking out this video. Like and subscribe. Catch you in future videos.